Well, everyone, there is some good news about the iPhone Xs. I don't only just talk about bad news, and this is a pros and cons. This is kind of like a good side and bad side. So most of you know this, the iPhone X was the first iPhone to ever bring that notch and a brand new design. Now, since then, every single iPhone that has pretty much came out has had a notch that was a flagship, or even if it was a, somewhat of a budget phone. We consider the iPhone XR a budget phone, up until last year. So a lot of these phones had a notch, and the iPhone X was the first one to bring a notch, which, I liked. I didn't think it was really that ugly of a design, but the craziest thing is that the iPhone 14s, from what we're seeing from a lot of different, sources, a lot of them are actually stating that the iPhone 14 base models are still going to maintain that notch, where the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max are actually going to be bringing a hole punch and pill design. Now, personally, I think the notch actually looks better than that hole punch pill design, but also the pill and the hole punch actually end up going lower than the actual notches on the iPhone 14s. Now, here's the thing. The reason why the iPhone X is even somewhat, relevant, is because the iPhone X has the same exact notch style for the most part as the iPhone 14s. This kind of means to me that the iPhone X, design-wise, is still going to be relevant for at least the next year or so. And the fact that the iPhone X, is changing up the design like this somewhat makes me think that the iPhone X is probably going to have a much longer lifespan than a lot of people probably assume. I think this iPhone could end up lasting as long as something like an iPhone 6s, probably in the next few years. Now, another thing I want to state is not only from the design factor, but also when you look at the gesture-based designs, as well as that Apple A11 Bionic chip in that specific device, there were actually a lot of devices that also had this A11 Bionic chip inside. So because of that, I kind of think to some extent that the iPhone X is going to be lasting much longer than a lot of people think, mostly because of the design, because the notch is still there, and because there's still going to be notches on this next iteration of devices. I kind of think that Apple really has no choice but to continue to support this design of this phone, but also for developers to continue to support whatever version of phone software this thing ends off with. If this thing stops at iOS 18, I kind of think that this device will probably still be supported for a much longer period of time after that on security updates, but also from developers from the App Store, just because that design, just because everything's the same. I kind of think that's probably how it's going to go, so I think the iPhone X is going to probably be helped out a lot from the iPhone 14 release because the design is going to be so similar. So I would love to hear your opinion on this. Let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.